Hey guys, Ted here. I'm just bringing you a complete Fire Mage tutorial for before and after patch 5.1. So let's just get started, and we'll start with talents. And these are my talents, and of course other people might have different ones, but I think they're the best. So Scorch, main fire move, get your crits off of it, and also keeps a tiny bit of pressure. Not much, but it still helps. Ice Barrier, which is just a huge absorb. Like mine right now absorbs almost 100,000. So it's like having 442,000 health, basically. So that's just, you need this. It is so much part of your survivability that if you don't have it, you will die so fast. Ring of Frost for after your Dragon's Breath to get them into a long CC, or in an RBG, you can freeze a whole bunch of them. Say you want to defend your FC, or keep enemies away from their FC, then you can put that in doorway and they can't get through, or something like that. Cold Snap, which finishes the cooldown on almost all of your Frost abilities, including Ice Block, which is huge, and heals you for 30% of your health. So it's your main heal, and it resets a bunch of cooldowns. So it's really good. Better than Cauterize, because Cauterize, if you don't have your Ice Block for some reason, or something like that, like you have to save your Ice Block for Cauterize. You can't just use it to stop a burst, or something like that. Living Bomb, not because of its damage, it doesn't actually do the most damage, but because of Pyromaniac. Pyromaniac increases the damage of almost all of your fire abilities on that target by, I think, 10%. So yeah, that's really good. And Incanter's Ward, it increases your mana regen by a lot passively. It increases your spell damage by 6% passively, and 30% increased spell damage if somebody breaks the bubble. And it's not even that big. It's a 17k bubble. So a warrior could like one-shot that. Most people could one-shot that bubble if they use a decent ability. So that's the talents. And now we'll do glyphs. So these are my glyphs. This is my RBG setup right now. Evocation, just in case a healer can't get to me. And for arenas, it's another one of your main heals because it heals you a lot. Again, you get 60% of your health. So, yeah. Don't need to talk about much there. Deep Freeze, because if you don't have Deep Freeze on the global cooldown, it is so helpful. Because that means you can freeze them, Deep Freeze instantly, and then instantly Pyroblast. And also because these aren't on the global cooldown, Alter Time and my Trinket, I can use them all at the exact same time, pretty much. So it gives you a long time to do your burst while they're frozen. So that's awesome. Then this is the one I often change between either this for RBGs, so you can have more dot spread on people, or Spell Steal, because it heals you for 3% every time you successfully Spell Steal. So if you're doing a Druid fight, or a Mage fight or something like that, and you get pretty much locked into a Spell Steal war, which you shouldn't, but sometimes it happens, then they'll be taking your stuff, and you'll be taking it back, but healing yourself at the same time. So it really is amazing. So yep, and then the minor glyphs don't matter. So now we'll do gemming. So my gems, for my meta, I take the 216 intellect and 3% crit, because you're a fire mage, you need crit. And the intellect is just a bonus pretty much. If it was just 3% crit, I might still take it. But yeah, so that's your meta. And it is called Burning Primal Diamond. For my purple, I use the 80 intellect and 160 PvP power, because intellect is still important and increases your spell power, but the PvP power just counters it so well. And it's the main stat for basically everybody. So it's nice to have that too. And then the rest are just 320 crit, because you're a fire mage, like I said before, you need the crit. And another, and then 320 PvP power. So that's pretty much all my gems. They're pretty cheap. And like I said before, this is the way I like to gem, because it's cheap and it's effective. So that's good. And now onto the rotation. Before I show you the rotation, I'm going to tell it to you, so I don't have to say it while I do it, and do it slowly. So first, you want to Living Balm them. To get Pyromaniac, which increases Fireball, Pyroblast, Inferno Blast, and Frost Fireball damage taken by 10%. So 10% is a lot. In proportion to other stuff, it is quite a bit of damage. So always keep that up, and make sure you let Living Balm detonate before you reapply it. Because Pyromaniac will last for about 5 seconds after it blows up. Or, let's see, 3 seconds after it blows up. So then you just reapply it. So while you have that on, you want to Scorch until you get a crit. Scorch does my crit. Then Inferno Blast, because that's a guaranteed crit. Then you would do another Living Balm, even if it doesn't detonate, because you make sure you have that Pyromaniac. And then you would use Frost Nova. This is all done very quickly. Frost Nova, Dreadful Gladiator's Badge of Dominance, or whatever you have as your use trinket, Alter Time, and then Deep Freeze. So then, when you use Alter Time, make sure you have Pyroblast proc. Because then when Alter Time stops, well, when it activates, I guess, after the 6 seconds, you will have your Pyroblast proc. So you can just instantly do another one. So, and then after you have that, so once they're deep frozen, you would Pyroblast them, Combust, and then Inferno Blast. Then you have another Pyroblast. Then you would Alter Time, and then you Pyroblast again. So, I'll show that to you guys. Got my buffs on. So, Living Balm, Scorch. And then close with the Silence if you want to. Maybe Dragon's Breath, just to keep them so they can't do anything. Freeze them, then if you want to cast a Pyroblast if you're not getting too much pressure. And then, pretty much, you just start that again. Except minus Dreadful and Alter Time. Because Deep Freeze should be up by the time it's done, and by the time you have your procs. But one important thing, when you're facing a Mage, do not try to do that rotation. That's the one class. Do not try to get that rotation off. Because most of the time they will either spell steal your Pyroblast procs, or blink out of the Deep Freeze, or something like that. So chances are you will not be able to get that full rotation off. When you're facing a Frost Mage, or another Fire Mage, try to spell steal that bubble and then Pyroblast each time. If you can freeze them, that's great, but don't count on Deep Freeze to do your damage. Do your damage as you get it. So, I'll show you guys that rotation one more time once my CDs are up. And before that, I'm just going to say something. I have been thinking about getting a new class, not specialization, but talents. Basically, just because fire cannot decide when it wants to burst. You can start your burst and get it prepared, but it can take you can get your burst instantly, or it can take you 30 seconds. It is, that first part is pure luck. So that's why I was kind of thinking about taking Presence of Mind, because then I could open with an instant Pyroblast. And then of course I would freeze them, then silence them, then Presence of Mind, Pyroblast, into Deep Freeze, Combust, then I could Pyroblast again, Inferno Blast, Pyroblast again, and yeah. And that'll all happen whenever I want to, at the click of a button. So I guess leave in the comments what you guys think, if you think that's a good idea, or what I should do. And before this video ends, I'll just show you a quick one last time. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Please leave a comment on what you thought of the video, and any ideas what you want me to make for future videos. And give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Thanks. Bye.